Okay, first off, congratulations to Louisville on their victory. Obviously disappointed loss for us. I thought the kids were playing. I thought they played hard the whole game, but I thought, right there in the first quarter, I saw our offense respond well. Guys were playing well. We got to a +2 turnover margin there early in the game, which was one of our big goals. To be up a couple in the turnover margin, and then late there, 5 minutes plus there towards the end of the game. Obviously, things went south with interception for pick six by Louisville. Corner made a nice play and took that down for a touchdown. Then they get the ball back again there, and you guys watched the game. But 4th and 2, they threw a late delay back to the backside Y tight end and make a good play on us. And that 14 points in 5 minutes. Six off the a pick six off the interception, and then big play on 4th and 2, and then go down and end up making 14 in the last 5 minutes is very difficult to overcome. Thought we came out in the second half, tried to fight, just didn't have enough. And Louisville has to get credit for doing a good job against us. I was pleased to see some of the young kids making some plays. Hudson, a new starter for us the last couple weeks, 9 tackles and an interception. Whitner, another true freshman there, 9 tackles, a forced fumble. Cordy, 8 tackles, a TFL, and Stephen Clark, 2 fumble recoveries. So that was good to see for those kids. Feel terrible about Eric taking a hit there. We'll get an update here in a few minutes. The reason I kept Eric is in the game is because we were still fighting to try to go down the field and see if we couldn't get a couple more touchdowns and try to make it a great comeback type situation. I feel horrible that he got hit. If I had 20/20 hindsight, I would have taken him out the play before that or something like that, but I don't. So I feel bad about that, and hopefully he'll be okay here. I'm going to go check on him here in a second. With that, any questions you might have?
Go ahead, Sam. Can you tell us kind of what happened on the play with Eric, and then
He just got hit. It was a football play. Yeah. He got hit. He got tackled.
Is it
it's upper body. Yeah. It's his head. Yep. And he took a hit. Good football hit. Trying to make a play.
Other questions for Coach? Nate? You guys have gotten off to fast starts really the last few weeks, and then your offense just kind of sputtered.
Yeah.
Any explanation for?
Well, I think first and foremost you have to give credit to the defensive side of the ball on the opposing sideline. They do a good job making adjustments. And then we have to make our adjustments and try to carry it forth, and we haven't done a good enough job with the second adjustments.
In the front?
A lot of the wide receivers today, a lot of the passes kind of hit them right on the hands or right on the numbers.
Yeah.
What do you say to those guys then when that keeps happening over and over and over?
Catch the ball. Catch the ball with your eyes first, then your hands. You know what I mean? A lot of times they take their eyes off the ball and start to peek over their shoulder and try to do something that has to happen after you secure the football. So, we'll go back and look at it. But, you got to play the game at your speed. You got to see it first to catch it. I think some of those instances there we did a bad job taking our eyes off the ball. Fundamentals,
Paul?
How demoralizing is it, with 14 points at the end of the first half and then right away in the second half?
Yeah, difficult. It stings. It stings bad.
Any questions for Coach? Steven?
Are you seeing improvement on this team? Enough that you've wanted to see?
No, not until we win games. That's the number one goal. In areas there's good improvement in different areas. If you go through the whole thing, it's good to see some guys making plays. And then on the flip side of it, you're still making mistakes and not as consistent as we need to be with other things. But there's a lot of encouragement in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of things that aren't good enough, and you just got to keep, working your techniques and fundamentals each day and try to get better, and then got to get big and strong in the off season too. Some of these young guys.
Did you know that Bolin was going to be playing?
No, I had no idea knowing that. It wasn't on any ACC report or anything. I don't know if they were just making sure young man was taken care of. I think they said he was questionable or something. So weren't sure, but we were thinking it could happen. So kind of tried to prepare for both. Obviously, we didn't do a good enough job defending Louisville. Period.
Did you prepare for him?
we prepared for everybody that they play on offense. And we looked at, like, he played a lot in the Clemson game as well. So we prepared for, anybody that played, both him, both quarterbacks, really all three, because Bonifant, we weren't sure until Thursday if he was out as well. So we looked at all of them and had some preparation for, each kid, depending on who was going to be in the game. So, yes.
Time for 2 more questions.
What do you think of Cordell Hudson's play? Very few times at the end of the day?
Yeah, I thought he did some good things. Always hard on the sideline to get a feel for the DBs until after the game when I can watch it. But it was nice to see him make a nice interception. I know he was frustrated because he had a couple plays that he thought he could have made as well. But I couldn't see what he was referring to when he was coming off the field. But I really like Cordell. He works extremely hard. Real bright guy. Transferred in with a bunch of credit hours. Had already a bunch of college credit hours coming in. I really like the way he's working at it. He's gotten bigger and stronger. He put on about 12 pounds last year. So he's got a great future in front of him for the next few games this year and 3 years after that. So I was pleased to see him playing with some confidence out there. I liked his look when he came off the field on the drives, and I think he's going to be a very good football player.
Last question for Coach. Sal?
Coach, being that you have such a young team, what's kind of your message to them, given the midst of what you're going through now?
Sure.
That this isn't status quo. There's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Sure. Yeah. No. Well, I think it's just what I said to him in the locker room, and that's the one thing that we know we have is the next day in front of us, the next game in front of us. We're extremely disappointed. Going back a few games, triple overtime loss. Last play of the game against Pitt loss. So close, but not close enough to turn it into a W. The thing we talk to the kids about more than anything else is just how important it is to stay true to what's most important, and that's controlling the things that are most important, in our team. And that's the way we continue to fight back. That's the way we continue to encourage each other and not point fingers. And it's the hardest thing to coach when things aren't going well. It's the hardest thing to do with a family when things aren't going well. Why isn't Dad making more money? I mean, all those types of things. So we look at it as a challenge. We put it right out there in front of them. We talk about it, and we say, how are you going to take on tomorrow? How are you going to attack through tomorrow? How are you going to listen to what's most important? And that's what our focus will be moving into the next week as a team, as a family. And that's how we approach it. And I've been real pleased in all my time here with the way our kids will respond to difficult situations and continue to fight forward. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing we can do. Obviously, you've got to win more games to improve and do the things that we want to do and reach our goals. But, it's the way you approach the difficult times that, makes you a good character young man. And that's our focus right now.